viewers out there. Me, Shivangini, and my mom Puja are back to our favorite channel, the Chatterbox Club. This August week is Fairy Tale Week. So, are you excited for today's fairy tale? Well, that's great. So let's get started.
Cinderella. It is our beloved classic, a quintessential rags to riches story. But it offers so much more. Let's find out what the story has to say. It's read from Stories and Rhymes for Young Children, published by Armadillo Books. Where is that girl? My hair needs brushing. The fire's going out. Come here, you lazy bones. All day long, Cinderella's sisters yelled and scolded. From dawn to dusk, she cleaned the house, fetched and carried, tended the fires, and did the cooking, while her sisters lived a life of ease. Cinderella's clothes were dirty and torn. She had no fine jewels or pretty shoes, but still she was far more beautiful than her two ugly sisters. Of course, this made them dislike her even more. One day, there was great excitement in the town. A messenger from the palace went from door to door inviting all the young ladies from near and far to a ball to celebrate the prince's birthday. It's time he was married, cried one ugly sister. Perhaps he will choose a bride at the ball. Cinderella, alter my new ball gown. It has shrunk. You may be right, said the other sister. Cinderella, clean my dancing shoes. No one thought for a moment that the invitation included Cinderella as well. On the night of the ball, Cinderella sat exhausted in front of the dying fire. In their hurry to get ready, her sisters had been even more unkind than usual. Cinderella stared into the glowing coals.
I wish that I could go to the ball,
she sighed. Suddenly the fire sparkled to life, and a smiling old woman stood in the kitchen. I am your fairy godmother, Cinderella, she said, and you shall go to the ball. The fairy asked Cinderella to bring her a pumpkin. With a wave of her wand, she turned it into a beautiful golden coach with 4 handsome footmen. Now bring me 6 mice, she cried. In a moment, the fairy turned the mice into 6 beautiful horses to pull the coach. Now you are ready for the ball, my dear, she smiled. But Cinderella looked down at her ragged clothes.
I can't go to the palace like this,
she whispered. The fairy laughed and waved her wand for a 3rd time. In a second, Cinderella was clothed in the most beautiful satin dress she had never ever seen. Rosebuds nestled in her silky hair, and on her feet were dainty glass slippers.
How can I ever thank you?
She asked. Just enjoy yourself, replied the fairy. But remember, the magic only lasts until midnight. Before the clock strikes, you must hurry home. When Cinderella arrived at the ball in her golden coach, everyone in the palace wondered who the beautiful stranger could be. The prince himself led her to the ballroom and would let no one else dance with her all evening. Floating around the room in Prince's arms, Cinderella almost cried with happiness. She forgot everything but the handsome young man who smiled down at her. But as she whirled around the floor, Cinderella suddenly heard the great clock on the tower outside begin to strike. It was midnight!
I'm sorry.
Whispered Cinderella, and she ran from the ballroom. She was just in time. As she fled across the square, her clothes began to turn to rags. By the time the bewildered prince reached the steps outside the palace, she had disappeared from the sight. All that was left was a single glass slipper shining in the moonlight. At home next day, Cinderella's sister could talk only of the girl who had stolen the prince's heart. No one else danced with him at all, they complained, and they say that he is looking for her everywhere. The sisters did not know about the glass slipper. But next day, a royal messenger arrived with an escort of soldiers. The prince has commanded that every girl in the kingdom must try on this slipper, he said. And the prince has vowed to marry the one whom it fits.
Let me try,
Cried the first ugly sister. She tried with all her might to squeeze her fat foot into the slipper, but it was no use. My turn, I think, my dear, said the second ugly sister with a sneer, but her thin foot was much too long for the tiny slipper. Is there anyone else in the house? Asked the messenger. Only a maid, laughed the sisters. The slipper will never fit her. But the messenger was firm. Everyone must try it on. So Cinderella was brought from the kitchen. Blushing, she put on the dainty slipper, just as the prince himself entered the house to see how the search was proceeding. It was you, he cried, looking down at Cinderella's lovely face. Please be my bride, and we shall never be parted again. It seemed as though the whole world lined the streets to cheer when Cinderella married her prince. Even the ugly sisters were happy. They had received invitations to the grand ball after the wedding, and they had heard that many visiting princes would certainly be there. The end. So, we can see Cinderella's plight at the beginning, but at the end she triumphs over the poverty and dismay. Why do you know? Because the choices she made when faced with adversity. So, to all my viewers out there, always make right choices in your life to become kings and queens and rule the world.
Please like, share and subscribe my channel for more fun videos.
And feel free to email us at chatterboxclub88@gmail.com. Till then, bye.
Bye everybody.